Okay, continuing on with our box of radios. This one doesn't really have any identifying brand or anything like that on it. It tells you to contact support at Fuhongiwan. Not gonna, not even gonna pretend. Fuhongiwan.net. So, I guess we could go to that domain and see if it's still active or if it's in English, and that might be more entertaining than taking the radio apart. And I put some batteries in it, and the operation's like really simple. I mean, it's just you've got a tuning. I'm assuming it's. What is that? Out there on that. That's AM, and the AM reception seems to be kind of okay. I mean, well, wouldn't even say it's okay. I do think the air conditioner the air conditioner just kicked off, so let's see if that'll. No, the oscillation's still there. We'll kick it over to FM. There's a switch. And the FM reception's okay. It's very touchy. So yeah, I wouldn't actually say the reception's super great. It's okay. Did I have? Okay. Well, so it's got that antenna. It's got your headphone jack, band selector, tuning, volume, and that's pretty much it. So, I think we might even be able to just pull this apart on camera because I don't think there's much to it. It looks like 3 screws. Let's get my trusty Harbor Freight screwdriver kit that I love so much. I just love Harbor Freight in general. Funny thing is, I used to be an auto mechanic in a former life. So I have a lot of tools, a lot of good tools, but I really like Harbor Freight. And this kit of screwdrivers is really good for electronics. I've got another set at work. Because again, I work as a SCADA systems developer, and I have a small toolbox that I got from Harbor Freight, a tool chest, not the little mini ones that have been so popular, but it's got 4 or 5 drawers, and it's probably stands about, I don't know, 14, 16 inches tall, and I've got a set of these in there, along with like a soldering iron and a bunch of serial adapters, and we got screwed in the battery compartment. That seems to be a common theme with these. And then I've got some cable tools for making like serial cables or gender benders and things like null modem and stuff like that. And anyway, I just kind of rambling here. Just some general stuff that I keep there in that little toolbox, along with some of my Harbor Freight tools. Because people at the office, they run off with tools. You can't find a screwdriver when you need it. I see I see 2 ICs only. So I guess we'll get the numbers off those and kind of see what they do. I don't know. Oh, there's some stuff on the other side of that board. So let's see if I can figure out how that board kind of. Oh, it's got a. No, those screws were from the case. Oh, okay. It just needed a slight tug. So that's pretty much it. That's interesting. There's no, instead of a dial cord, there's a plastic piece that that's really clever. So there's your antenna coil. I guess for the AM, it's not very big. It's way smaller than what I'm used to seeing. Maybe that's one reason why the reception is not super great on the AM. But other than that, there's not much on this side of the board. So I think we'll go get these. Let's go take a look under the microscope, and we'll get these. We'll look at the parts in more detail, and we'll get these numbers off those. Or if we can find numbers, we'll figure out what they are. Maybe. No promises. All right, so here it is. Don't know that those numbers are going to mean a whole lot to us there, but 2018 510, so it's not that old, which I didn't think it was either. And this is kind of odd over here. There's this old style volume control / power switch, but then these two, I don't know what's on the other side of the board there, but I guess it's an LED. And I don't know, I guess it's supposed to be making contact with that capacitor right there. I don't know how it works. I mean, I don't know why they left the leads so long. I mean, it was an accident. I don't know. Really odd. But that looks like it was hand soldered in there. That looks like it was hand soldered too. And this is probably a dedicated radio IC. I can't see the numbers too well yet. Hadn't looked them up, but that's probably not a microprocessor. If I had to guess, it's probably some sort of dedicated AM/FM IC. And then I believe this is probably an audio amplifier, because here's where the speaker connects down here, and you've got a couple capacitors and resistors probably for stability. I checked the number and it wasn't one that I recognized, so I'll look that up here in a little bit. And then the antenna connection, you've got 2 connections here. It says FM ant and AM, but that doesn't seem to be anything connected there. But up at the top here, the antenna coil is kind of behind here, and you'll see it says AM1, and then over here it says FM ant 1. So I don't know if maybe the AM and the FM share this bar antenna somehow. That would be my guess. So that, and then here's a transistor. I believe that's probably a JFET, maybe. The soldering's really oxidized, or just looks kind of on the cold side, doesn't it? On those through hole stuff there. Yeah, nothing too much to see on this side of the board. That is probably a crystal. And there's our LED that kind of, when the station comes in strong, it kind of lights up. And I think it says power or something beside where it lights up. But I thought it was stereo at first, but I don't think that's the case. So that's pretty much all there is to look at here. So I think we'll get the numbers off the ICs and then we'll take a look at those. Okay, so I got some information on those ICs, and I was correct. This is a dedicated AM/FM IC, and this is an audio amplifier. It's an 8002D, which in one of the last radios I done in this series, I don't know if it was the last one or the one before, but the exact same audio amplifier. So I'd never heard of it, but then again, what have I heard of? So to look at the ICs, was able to find actually quite a bit of information on this one. It's made by this KT Micro. It says monolithic dial-tuned AM/FM receiver radio chip. So in other words, it supports mechanical tuning. And I read through the data sheet a little bit here, and it does require a crystal, that was a crystal on there, and then it's for international use. It covers 50 kilohertz to 175. Well, sorry, that's the AM. The FM 32 megahertz to 110. And then, 50 kilohertz to 1750 for the AM side. So, and it says 28 milliamps low supply current. That seems 28 milliamps seems like a lot. I really wouldn't know what that. Maybe that means that you need to give it at least that, but it maybe won't actually use 28 milliamps. And low supply voltage can be supplied with batteries. I'm thinking it's got its own voltage regulator built in. Let's see. I don't remember reading that, but there's no voltage regulator on the board. Well, I don't see a voltage regulator in here, so I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't need one. Maybe it's just okay with the battery voltage being a little higher or a little lower. That you would think there'd be a low dropout regulator, because all the other ones I've seen so far have had that, or they have one external. And it goes on to tell you how you can program the EEPROM in it. Here's all the registers and what they all do. So you can set it up to work with kind of like a certain frequency range or different settings for the tuning parameters. And if you scroll way, way down here, we've got an example circuit. So you can, this is just, I love these when they have those, so you can see kind of how it would be, an example of it would be all the components that you would need to make it work. So, and it's got 16 pins, I believe. Yeah. 16. Yep. Oh, yeah. I don't even know if that particular radio may not even be using all 16 of these pins. So that's pretty much all there is to say about that one. It's a lot like the other ones. I was able to find this IC on eBay. It was $9.80. I don't remember if that was a 1-pack or a 10-pack. So either they're $1 or $10. I guess if they're $10, they're outrageously expensive ICs. But it would be a really cool one to use to build a radio, because I think it's a little bit simpler to set up than some of the other ones. I don't know. I guess if you didn't program it first, I guess you would just get the whole range of frequencies. Not really sure. So, all right, well, we'll put this guy back together and we'll move on to the next radio in the box.